Monday and that sort of thing. That is not usual, but that is the way things have gone in Trump world because of the fact that he's a former president and because time really is of the essence in so many of his cases. And the presidential immunity question, really, time is of the essence because this was argued before the D.C. Court of Appeals. Just to set the stage, if you recall, this is the trial, Jack Smith in front of Tanya Chutkan. This is the Jan 6 big election stealing democracy case. And this is a case that was set to go to trial on March 5th. And so that was going to be the first case to go. That's kind of the biggest case, many would argue. I would certainly argue. And the case that most people want to see before the election to know whether the person that the Republicans are voting for committed a crime or not. Just let the evidence come out. Let the verdict fall where it may. And that was supposed to happen March 5th, the day after Super Tuesday. Well, we all know that Trump has taken an appeal prior to trial, which is very unusual. It's called an interlocutory appeal, where you don't wait until after a conviction to appeal the way most issues have to occur. You can appeal midstream. And the jury's out as to whether this is the type of thing that you can argue during the pendency of the case, sort of this interlocutory appeal. But Trump did. And because time is of the essence, what happened was Jack Smith, when Trump appealed to the DC Circuit, they asked them to go quickly. They agreed. So that's already going expedited lightning speed. Otherwise, this could, in a normal case, this would have happened probably in a matter of months for briefing, for oral arguments, and for a decision. This could take, it could even take a year. That's how long appeals take. Appeals can take a very, very long time. Well, this was put on an expedited schedule, and it was argued January 9th. Now, it was fully briefed. It was fully argued. It was in front of a 3-judge panel, Judge Pan, Judge Childs, and Judge Henderson. Judge Henderson is the ranking judge, which means if she's in the majority, she has the prerogative to write the decision. And she is a Reagan appointee. And then you've got 2 Biden appointees, Judge Childs and Judge Pan. And they did the oral argument. And so that means they're going to be writing the decision. One of them is going to be writing the decision. And the decision could be all 3 agree and a consensus ruling. It could be all 3 agree but have concurring rulings because they agree on different issues. Or you could have 2-1 and whoever majority rules. And time really is of the essence. Everybody agrees, which is why they agreed to hear it on an expedited basis. And if you recall, Trump asked Jack Smith tried to leapfrog this interim step and go straight to the Supreme Court saying, this is one of those cases that we need you to decide now, because really, if this doesn't get decided now, then the voters won't get to hear it. And he didn't say that, but that's what he was essentially saying, because you can't mix politics with prosecution. So he's never going to say, Jack Smith is not going to say that. But clearly, everybody is aware of the timing and understands that if this doesn't go before the election and Donald Trump is elected, he will appoint the attorney general. I'm not saying he will be elected, but certainly he has a chance. And he will appoint the attorney general who will be in charge of the Department of Justice. And he can dismiss this case, or he can pardon himself, or he can do both. So it is really believed by many people that if it doesn't go before the election, it's not going to go at all, unless, of course, he's not elected, and then we would potentially see it. But it's important that it happened before the election. That's not lost on anybody. So on January 9th, the DC Circuit heard the case, these three judges, and it was a hot bench. They asked a lot of questions, and Judge Pan, I thought, was the breakout star of the group, and really, really narrowed and honed the issues. And she got the defense attorney representing Trump, his name was Mr. Sauer, to concede that that essentially, if Trump had been impeached and convicted by the Senate, then he could have been prosecuted under the impeachment judgment clause, which is a big concession, because what Trump was trying to say was, no, I have immunity no matter what. You can never prosecute me. But what she got the defense attorney to concede was, no, really, that's one of your arguments, that you can never be prosecuted. But your other argument you're saying is, well, the only way to prosecute somebody or a former president is if he was impeached and convicted. We know he was impeached, but he wasn't convicted. And one of the reasons he wasn't convicted, many senators said, was they didn't vote to convict because they said he's going to face criminal charges, and that's the more appropriate forum. So on the one hand, Trump argued through his lawyer in Congress, and the judges brought that out at the oral argument as well, that, look, you had a different lawyer arguing that the proper forum is that he get prosecuted. Now you're arguing that he can't be prosecuted at all.